Okay, here's our poem again. This is day number 2. I always think you should read the poem first, even if you've read it before. So we're going to read the poem together again. We're going to choral read our poem, The Face of the Mountain by Margaret Ferry. The morning sun rises and lightly touches your snowy hair. It then begins to shine on your face, set in stone and deeply etched with trenches. Trying to reach the warmth, you lift rocky fingers toward the sky. Timeless, endless, you are a beautiful sight. Okay, when we read the poem earlier, we talked about the fact that this poem has some metaphors, that Margaret is comparing some things in the poem to something that are really not even like it at all. And she's not using the words like or as, so it's not a simile, it is a metaphor, which is a figure of speech. So let's see if we find any more metaphors. So in your notebook, in your reading notebook, I want you to write the name of your poem. Maybe I should do that first. The Face of the Mountain. Okay, you can look at your poem to do it, but write it in your notebook. And we're going to do some figures of speech. So we're going to start with a metaphor. These are figures of speech. And the one we happen to be doing today is a metaphor. So we're going to compare, but we're not using like or as. So let's see what she's comparing right now. The morning sun rises and lightly touches your snowy hair. Ah! She is comparing the mountain peak to hair. So we've got a mountain peak. And she's comparing it to hair. But not just any kind of hair, snowy hair. So we know there's snow on our mountain. So on the mountain that I drew yesterday, I'm going to write hair up here. She's comparing it to hair. Okay, let's see what's next. It then begins to shine on your face. Do mountains have a face? Is that a metaphor? She's making it almost sound like a what? A person. So here's the face of the mountain. You might even say she's using a little personification because she's making it seem like a person when it's really a mountain. Let's look at the next. I need to start that little line again. It then begins to shine on your face, set in stone and deeply etched with trenches. Your face is set in stone and deeply etched with trenches. Trying to reach the warmth, you lift rocky fingers toward the sky. Is it really rocky fingers? So we have some rocky fingers. And those fingers are reaching toward the sky. Timeless, endless. You are a beautiful sight. Okay, now I want you to think about something else. All right? She is comparing this mountain to something. What do you think it sounds like? Listen to the words that she has used. She has used snowy hair. She has used face. She has used rocky fingers. All right. So what are you thinking? I'm thinking that she's comparing. So I think I'm going to draw You can draw this in your notebook too. It's called a Venn diagram. And I know that here's a mountain. And let's see if we can decide, what is she comparing this mountain to? So let's put some words in here that might help us. All right. The morning sun rises and lightly touches your snowy hair. Let's put snowy hair over here. We might move it because when you compare something, you put the things that are all about the mountain over here. You put the things that are all about whatever you're comparing it to over here. And if they have things that are alike, you put them in the middle. So let's see. I think if we make a list, we might figure it out. It then begins to shine on your face. Okay, so we've got a face on the mountain. Set in stone and deeply etched with trenches. So it's not just any kind of face. It's a face. I'm not a good artist. But it's a face that has lots of etches in it. Deeply etched with trenches. Like the mountain we said was etched with trenches. So we've got etchings on the face. Let's keep going. I bet you're figuring it out. I can tell. Trying to reach the warmth, you lift rocky fingers toward the sky. You're trying to get warm. So you're reaching rocky fingers. So the mountain has rocky fingers. All right, I'm going to stop right there. What has snowy hair and a face that has etchings in it and rocky fingers? Don't say, Miss Ruth. It's an old person, isn't it? So I think that this is an old person over here. Now, could we move any of these things to another spot now? I think we definitely could. I think we could make some moves. I'm going to let you figure that out. Where would you move some of these things? Since maybe she's comparing a mountain to an old person. That's your job today. And you have some questions to answer. So try your questions.